I do have a question about any board member, zoning and planning, going off on their own and basically hijacking the meeting and doing these types of things.
Okay, like everybody else in the county, was kind of taken by surprise in November of 22 when a company named Nextera showed up in the county somewhere, commissioner's meeting, front yard, I don't know, and announced their plan to put a tremendous facility in the southwestern portion of the county, and we as a board establish or recommend county commissioners regulations that apply not just to a portion of the county, they apply to the entire county. And so I started tracking these newspaper articles in our local Holden Recorder, and I think I really didn't start until April 5th of 23 was the first article I cut out. And the last one I cut out was in April of 24. And in that 12-month period, I've got 23 or 25 articles here. And I try to get them all in this view. That's over half of the publishings that they put out on a weekly basis, 52 weeks a year. The last one really bothered me because it says here that the county commission still at work on solar regulations, and they promised us in an article here in last June that they have regulations drafted and presented to us by August. That's never happened. So here it is, July 31st, and I quit cutting them out in April. I mean, just got to be every other, not every week, there's an article or a letter to the editor or something. And it's 95% against solar. And so I started looking into it and doing my research. And it says here the county commission is going to draft regulations and continue to be developed by the Jackson County Commission, and they will be handed over to the members of the Jackson County Planning Commission for revision. It's been reported. And then down a little further, it says when the commissioners originally discussed the process for drafting solar regulations, they decided, and then it says in comment, in communications with the planning commission, which I don't remember any communications, to create the outline for the proposed regulations with Hendricks, since he's already prepared to attend the commission meetings each week. And then there's some other articles that are quotes in the article I don't care to share. If you want to go to July 31st, you can reread that issue yourself. I don't remember any of the commissioners coming or asking me or telling this board what the process was going to be. And by Kansas statute, they're correct. You do not have to initiate the planning commission and their processes and their legal concerns. I mean, we still have to be in the process and make recommendations. But what really bothers me about this whole thing, it's an unreliable, unproven technology that works at best 4 to 6 hours a day. And we're going to put 5,000 to 8,000 acres of panels where they're going to go out and sterilize the ground because they don't want weeds growing up in it. And which is going to increase runoff because all the vegetation's not there to catch it. They're composed of highly toxic, rare earth minerals. If we get a hailstorm or a deluge of rain damage to those panels and they get released into the watershed, Jackson County will be polluting potentially Cross Creek Rivershed, which will contaminate the water supply of Rossville campus, which could generate some liability for the county. And I'm not saying the technology can't get any better, but at present, we're considering the moratorium on the wind for reasons, I don't know. I don't know why those very people wait on solar, because for the same obvious reasons. And I just think it's wise on our part to recommend that we also include solar with the wind energy as an unreliable resource, which is not going to give Jackson County any benefit at all, other than they're jeopardizing the future of our property. And companies that are going to be building these things are going to, during or short after construction, sell that portion to a subsidiary company with those assets. If anything ever happens, they go, go ahead and sue us, we ain't got money anyway. Parent companies won't disappear from all dollars. So I think this needs to be thought through a little more for the same reason they want to think through the windmill process. I don't see any difference between the two. And I think in the moratorium, we ought to include both wind and solar. 2 years from now, circumstances could be different. I don't think that it's in the best interest of the citizens of the county to witness liability for potential disaster. I don't know if anybody else is doing any researching. There's a lot of it out there.
Without public notice. My concern is that the violation that this board member did, and by the board itself acting on that without proper notice to the public, is a liability.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure, because you're right in the sense that how any zoning change, I mean, the moratorium is a zoning decision, right? And that, that it's, I was looking before yesterday about the Zimmerman case, which is the kind of bellwether case for moratorium on wind.
Well, not,
County.
yeah, I'm not concerned about, I'm saying any going off script or what's on there to be voted on,
Yeah.
in any sense of the form without giving proper public notice, to me is a huge violation. I mean, can you imagine had one board member on that board spoke for a long lengthy period of time about something that was not scheduled on the agenda, and it had been for solar as opposed to against it, or for wind energy as opposed to against it, it would have brought the roof down. And those people in this community need to know that there's a board member that did this. And I mean, you want to talk about violating the public trust by trying to sneak something through without giving public interest. I mean, every citizen in this community should be upset at that.
Yep.
My thoughts is Steve Willett is very thorough, probably one of the more thorough members that we have.
Okay.
In researching the regulations and trying to do what's right by the community. If you guys consider giving him a little leeway on this one before making that decision. I don't think it was probably intentional to do something unlawful. I think that there should have been a statement after the wind moratorium on consideration for solar. I think it should have been a separate thing. But I don't think that was intentional, like a malicious and
So
intentional.
at any point in the meeting, did you not advise him that?
Or did anybody advise him that this was not correct?
I simply stated that it would probably come back, that this resolution was for wind moratorium only. That was the only comment made.